Good afternoon, Misfits and Dreamers. Bob here. Today we're going to make Ropa Vieja, better known as Cuban beef. So what you're going to need is a bottle of cooking white wine, a thing of crushed tomatoes, a red onion, olives, peppers, garlic. Now they use different spices, but I'm going to make this easier for you guys. Find one of these, which is slow cooker Italian beef. It's pretty much the same spices that they use to make Cuban beef, and 2 pieces of beef. So come on, let's get started. I'll show you how to do this. Alright, so what you can do is use your cast iron frying pan. In this case, it's a big cast iron pot. Put oil in it, let it get hot, and you're going to sear both sides of your meat. Alright, what they're using, they use flank steak. A little too expensive at this point, so this is kind of a cheaper version. But this is chuck steak. Never know why it's called chuck, should have been called Bob. So what you're going to do is salt both sides of these pieces of beef, and then you're going to sear them. And when you do go to sear these, one at a time so you don't crowd the pan. So basically that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a good sear. At this point you're not going to cook them all the way through. You're just looking to braise on both sides. Alright, you should have a nice little fond on the bottom of your pan. You're going to add your onions and your garlic. And you're going to sweat the garlic and the red onion down until they're a couple minutes. Alright, after that you're going to add some of your slow cooker Italian beef seasonings into your pot, and you're going to let them cook for about a minute. Don't add the whole of the slow cooker Italian beef seasoning, because it'll probably overpower it, but anyway, you can always add later for taste. What you're going to have to do is some wine to deglaze the pan. Then we're going to add back our meat. Alright, make sure you add your meat, make sure you add any of the juices that are left on your platter. Okay, next you're going to add is your Italian crushed tomatoes and a half a cup of chicken stock. And then you're going to let this simmer for about an hour, hour and a half. Then you're going to let it cool, let it overnight, and then I'll show you what it looks like overnight in the morning, and we'll finish the recipe. Okay, this is called a spaghetti squash. What you're going to do is cut it basically in half. You're going to take all of this out of the spaghetti squash. You can put it in a pan, add a little water, put it in your oven, and put an aluminum cover over top of it, and let it cook until it's tender. Alright, get yourself a nice big spoon. Basically, you're going to take all the guts. You're going to, lack of a better word, lobotomize it. Make sure it's clean. Same way with the other one. So basically, that's what you do. It's going to be in a pan, a piece of aluminum foil over about a cup, a little over a cup of water. in there and let it roast in a 350-degree preheated oven. Alright, so as you can see, we're at a nice little simmer here. So you're going to simmer this for about an hour, hour and a half. Then you're going to let it become room temperature, cover it over, leave it for the night. And then in the morning, I will show you how to finish this. Alright, basically you're going to cut a red and a bell pepper, or both bell pepper, red and green, into strips. You're going to put them in a Ziploc bag, and you're going this way they're prepped for tomorrow when you finish your Cuban beef. Okay, Misfits and Dreamers, Bob here again. This is about 24 hours. It's rest overnight. The beef I took out, you shred. You're going to reheat this to a simmer, add your meat, add your peppers, add your olives at the end, and they recommend a teaspoon of sugar to balance out the flavor so it's not so bitter from the white wine. Optional. If you want it, that's fine. For me, I've tasted sauce. I don't think it needs sugar. They also use capers. Never understood the concept unless it's a recipe there. But that also makes this very salty. And I think that you should omit them. Or if you do, use very few. Because olives are salty as they are. They're not just for martinis anymore. Alright, as you can see, this is coming back up to a simmer. So you're going to pour your beef. My thumb out of the way, and your peppers, using bell peppers, red, and onions, and you're going to pour your peppers, which are red and green bell pepper, and you're going to let this simmer until the peppers start getting soft, and reheat the meat. Okay, as you can see, that's why they call it spaghetti squash. This came from this empty shell. Like I said, it's you can do it hot, but my recommendation, if you're going to do the Cuban beef recipe, you can let these cool overnight. It's just as easy, and you can warm them up either in a pan or you can warm them up with the Cuban beef. Either way, it works just as well. Okay, now that this has simmered for 20 minutes and the beef is tender, the peppers are tender, I'm going to add some dried parsley. I'm going to stir it in, and then we're going to plate it up for you with the spaghetti squash. Alright guys, there you go. Ropa Vieja, better known as Cuban beef. If you're new here, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button. Leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. All have a great day.